We've got a wild bunch of MCU Phase 4 leaks, all coming from 4chan and Reddit, and we have got to talk about it. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button, and let's get right into this news. Now, full disclosure, I'm not sure what's going on with these leaks. I've speculated that maybe these leaks are just people having cabin fever, getting a little bit crazy because of all the crazy things going on in the world, and they just want to put out some weird-ass leaks when it comes to the MCU Phase 4. So take this with the largest grain of salt that you can find. We're reporting it as rumor for now, but there's some really interesting things in here that I actually do hope happen. By the way, we talked about these leaks a little bit earlier on the morning stream over on our live channel, and we had the people that are watching live put a score to each one of these little leaked things. Green for believable and likely, yellow for possible but not sure, and red for probably total crap. So it was really interesting, and I'm going to take into account some of the things that people were saying on that live stream as we go through them with you in this video. So number one, it says Black Widow is getting pushed back due to, you know, that thing that we're not supposed to say on YouTube, and that the end credits scene will include Jeremy Renner. Now, when we were talking about this live, we said it was probably likely that Black Widow was going to get pushed back. In fact, I think that announcement could be happening any day. It might have already happened by the time you see this video. But many of us were confused about this end credit scene. Like, why would Jeremy Renner be in an end credit scene for Black Widow? I mean, I hope he's in the movie. The Budapest thing would be cool. Maybe even in a little flashback, we could see something like that take place in the film. But I was struggling to find a way as to why he would be in the post-credit scene for the Black Widow film. But some people in chat pointed out that this could be to set up the coming Hawkeye series, which would totally work and make sense. So we gave that a green score. It's probably going to get pushed back as far as the Black Widow film. And hey, who knows? Maybe there will be a Jeremy Renner post-credit scene. Next up, the leak says that Ajax and Sprite will die in the Eternals movie, and that the Phastos kiss scene has been discussed as far as being removed from the final cut, but no decisions have been made. So Ajax and Sprite are characters from the Eternals movies, as is Phastos, and we do know that the Phastos character is going to be gay in that film, and there will be the first sort of same couple kiss in the MCU taking place with the Phastos character. Now, on the chat earlier, we gave this a yellow score. It's possible, but not really likely. I mean, I think that scene will likely get cut for certain marketplaces like China and things like that anyways, but I don't know if they're going to cut it from the total and complete film. It really does seem to be something that's important for this film, for the director, and for Kevin Feige. They do want to put some more diversity into the MCU. And we totally realize that your mileage may vary on how you feel about that. Apparently, Sprite does die in the comic book. Somebody brought this up on the chat as well. Sprite is responsible for, in the Neil Gaiman run, hiding the fact that the Eternals are Eternals from themselves. She sort of puts them under this mind spell so they don't even realize that they are the Eternals. But we don't know if that's actually going to be something that will be in the film. So we'll give it a yellow. We'll give it kind of like a, hey, maybe not, maybe not kind of thing, eh? Next up, the leak says that Shang Chi will introduce Fang Foom. Joseph Fiennes, Sam Claflin, and Zhang Ziyi are cast as Reston Jack Tar and Liuku Wu. And apparently Michelle Yeoh will play an evil scientist named Zhang. We gave this a green score on the stream earlier. It seems very plausible. Having Fang Foom in Shang-Chi is something we have talked a lot about here on the channel, and these characters all seem like plausible choices to show up in that movie. Next up, it says Cillian Murphy is in negotiations to play Nightmare in the Multiverse of Madness. Emma Watson is being looked at for Clea, and Malachi Kirby is in negotiations to play Brother Voodoo. Isabella Merced is apparently going to be America Chavez, and Ted Raimi and Bruce Campbell have cameos. Now, this one was given a yellow score by the chat earlier today, but this was because a lot of people were green on this and a lot of people were red on this. So a lot of people buy into this completely, while a lot of others think it's complete horse crap. And the thing about casting leaks like this is we'll know probably fairly soon whether this is total crap or not. I mean, if Cillian Murphy is literally cast as Nightmare in the film, we'll have to look back at this plot leak and be like, holy crap, this was real? And a lot of these other actors just feel like they make total sense for the roles they're being cast in. And so pretty middle of the road, possible, not as crazy as it could be, but we'll see. Now, this next one was given red by the chat. Nobody believed, well, not nobody, but a lot of people did not believe that this was possible and thought that this was total crap. It says here, Spider-Man 3 will be titled Home Run. Scorpion and Kraven are the main villains. Joe Carey and Jane Lynch are being looked at for roles. Henry Cavill or Jason Momoa wanted for Kraven, but have to sign a non-compete clause if true. Okay, so part of this I actually do buy in the sense that they would probably want these actors to sign a non-compete clause. This was why when the rumors swelled weeks ago about Henry Cavill coming to the MCU, I said this was highly unlikely. It's very unlikely that Marvel would want to use Henry Cavill as long as he still has things contractually holding him to DC and Warner Brothers. Like if he still has the possibility of showing up as Superman, Marvel's not really going to want him to be in the MCU. But the idea of Spider-Man 3 being titled Home Run is absurd. Nobody likes that title. Everybody thinks that's really, really ridiculous. However, it's another one of those things where if the freaking title of the movie actually comes out to be Home Run, we're going to come back to this video, we're going to come back to this plot leak and be like, dang, who are these people on 4chan? Next up says Christian Bale is going to be playing Dario Agger in Love and Thunder. Groot and Rocket will have supporting roles. Jodie Comer and Ryan Gosling are in final negotiation for roles. Again, really specific. If these people actually get cast in the film, we're going to have to look back at this thing and be like, holy crap, this could be correct. Now, the Dario Agger thing is interesting because this was something that was ran very heavily when it was first announced that Christian Bale was going to be the villain of that film. Many people felt as though the Dario Agger character made complete sense for that character because he even sort of looks like Christian Bale in some of the most recent Marvel comics. And while it is still technically possible that he will play Dario Agger, the smart money is on him playing Gore the God Butcher or something more cosmic. This is all coming from a scoop from the Illuminati, which suggested that his look would be alien and otherworldly. And the idea of Groot and Rocket being in that film, that makes a lot of sense and corresponds to some of the scoops we've been talking about recently, where Vin Diesel let it out that yes, some of the Guardians of the Galaxy will be showing up in Thor 4. And the chat this morning scored this as orange, which is like between yellow and red. So more on the not believe side than the believe side, but there were some people that did think this was possible. Next up, it says Ant-Man 3 will be about Cassie Lang leaving her family in order to be an Avenger. Scott and Hope try to stop her, and MODOK is the villain. This was scored as green by the chat earlier today. We all think this is very possible and almost likely. I mean, they are setting up Cassie Lang. There's a lot of rumors out there about MODOK. By the way, look for another video about AIM and MODOK playing a big role in Phase 4. Working on that for you guys as well. But yeah, I mean, this just seems like it would make a lot of sense. I think that there's a lot that they might do with the Cassie Lang character as a stature or something like that later on in the MCU. We have a lot of evidence to suggest that Young Avengers is coming, and so this would make a lot of sense. And when you combine it with the rumors that MODOK will be in the MCU as a villain, seems like a pretty good place to put MODOK as a villain. So we gave it a green, and it could happen. Now, this one's really interesting. It says here, Michael B. Jordan will be back in Black Panther 2. And they also want an A-list actor for the villain. Now, that part's pretty obvious and kind of stupid to even put in a post. But the idea of Michael B. Jordan coming back for Black Panther 2 is really strange. But it's not the first time we've heard this. We've heard a lot of reliable people say that this was likely going to happen. I don't know how it will happen. I don't know what the explanation will be in universe. But I do know that it's been talked about and that it could happen. This was scored green as a lot of people this morning were bringing up the fact that very reliable sources out there in the Marvel scooping community have talked about the possibility of Michael B. Jordan coming back for that role in Black Panther 2. Next up, it says Captain Marvel 2 will introduce Nova and Abigail Brand. This was also scored as green in the chat. Many of us think this is very possible. This would be a great spot to put Abigail Brand in. We do know that Sword is going to be playing a role in the WandaVision show as well. And I mean, what better place to put Nova? I really can't think of any better place other than maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We've been hearing that Nova is on Marvel's short list as far as characters that they really want to debut soon. So it could be a really good place to do that. We've also heard rumors that Captain Marvel 2 is going to be doing Secret Invasion, a version of Secret Invasion for the MCU, and there might even be a Secret Invasion Disney Plus show that sort of ties into that. And so all of those characters make perfect sense for Captain Marvel 2 and for an MCU version of Secret Invasion. And lastly, it says on here that Blade is looking to cast many Oscar nominees as the cast, and that is just the stupidest thing I've ever seen on a 4chan or a Reddit leak. Obviously, they're looking to do that. We gave it a red just because it's stupid. So it is very possible that this is just someone on the internet looking at a bunch of probable things to come to the MCU and putting them together as a leak. But if we've learned anything in the past 6 months when it comes to leaks and things like that, we can't completely discount them. They're also really fun to talk about, so I hope you don't mind us doing this video talking about these plot leaks. And I would love to know what you think about them in the comments section below. As far as my own personal speculation, there's a couple things here that are like really risky if you're trying to build leaks, and I'm going to be really intrigued if some of it is proven to be correct. I personally feel like Cillian Murphy is a perfect choice for Nightmare. I would love to see Cillian Murphy play Nightmare, and so if we see something like that happening, we're going to be like, whoa, these leaks could be real. The Spider-Man thing is really crazy. I'd love to be getting Kraven and Scorpion in the next Spider-Man movie, and I actually hope they do Sinister Six completely. So, hey, we'll keep an eye on that. If something ridiculous happens, like Spider-Man Home Run being announced as the title, we're going to go back to this leak. I think the Ant-Man 3 thing is most believable to me. I've heard that there's a possibility they'll sprinkle in some Fantastic Four stuff in that movie as well, which could be really cool. But I think it just makes sense. If you look at where the Ant-Man films have gone and where we are at in a post-Endgame world, it could be a perfect scenario to explain that, yeah, Cassie Lang wants to go be a hero and work for the official Avengers, which could cause conflict, you know, with the Sokovia Accords still being on, and MODOK and AIM being a part of this, considering that AIM is going to play a role in at least Black Widow and likely Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well, makes a lot of sense to me. Now let's shout out Michael Ogle. Indeed, Anakin Skywalker uses a green lightsaber at the Battle of Geonosis after his original lightsaber was confiscated. So shout out to you, Michael. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know what Marvel version of DC's Justice League might be made into an MCU property very soon. This is a crazy rumor that's going around. I'll probably do a video on it as well, but I want to know what Marvel property that is sort of a copy of the Justice League might be in development for the MCU. Answer that question in the comment section below. I want to remind you that the Battle Bracket 2020 moves on. You've got to go vote. There are votes going on Monday through Friday, all of the month of March, different battles between villains and heroes and things within fandom. Go vote on our Twitter, Instagram, and on the community tab here on this channel. And also, if you are watching this video on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 16th, we are doing another community stream where you can come onto the stream and chat with us. And tonight's community stream is all about fan casting the MCU X-Men. You got some cool people you think should be the MCU X-Men? Come let us all know tonight at 8 p.m. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. The Den of Nerds is independent media. If you want to support us, you can do something as simple as liking or sharing this video. If you want to financially support us, you can join the list of names you see below and become a supporter of us on Patreon. We also do live streams all week, Monday through Friday, over on our live streaming channel. Support independent media. Support the Den of Nerds.